In this video, I play in the Executives Cup, a chess tournament hosted by the NSPCL. What you are currently watching is my first game of the tournament, which takes place in an arena. For some reason, I woke up at 5:26 a.m. for this. My goal is to end the arena in the top 5 so I can make the next round of the tournament. At this moment, I'm probably thinking something along the lines of, this should be easy. There's only a couple people with a higher rating than me. I might even have a chance to get first place. Woohoo! Spoiler alert! I did not have a chance to get first place. So I just finished the first lobby and it didn't go very well. I got 6th place, which is one away from what I need to actually get into the next round of the tournament. So in about 5 hours, the next lobby starts, and I'm going to join that, and hopefully I'll do well in it. A second and final lobby was going to take place later in the day. If I wanted to keep my dreams of not losing instantly alive, I would need to place in the top 5. The first game I got matched with one of the highest rated players, and when they had 6 seconds left in an endgame that only I had chances of winning, I accidentally drew with threefold repetition. Not the ideal result, but a draw isn't the end of the world in a situation where I just need to avoid having an all-time bad performance. In the second game, I won because of my opponent's poor opening principles. This temporarily had me leading the standings. Unfortunately, in my third match, I fought a door, and the door beat me, as they often do. Game 4 was also not very fun. At this point, I was hanging on to the top 5 by a thread. Luckily, in games 5 through 8, I picked up 2 wins, a draw, and just 1 loss. Now in 4th place, I was feeling pretty good. With just 12 minutes left, all I needed was another draw or win to solidify my place in the top 5. Anything more would just be extra, and help my seeding for the next stage of the tournament. But in game 9, I faced off against... Sodom? Isn't that my name? Well, someone else shares it too. This is my dad, just very zoomed in. He is also playing in this tournament. Also, yes, I did kind of steal the Sodom name from him like 7 years ago. I'll probably explain that some other time. My dad is good at chess. I currently have a record against him of 12 wins, 1 draw, and 206 losses. This individual game honestly doesn't matter too much for me. As long as I lose quickly, I'll have enough time to squeeze in at least another game or 2, and even if I don't win again, I'll probably make the top 5 anyways. But for my dad, he's in the race for first place, and if he gets it, he'll skip the next stage entirely and automatically make the finals of the tournament. He needs to win as fast as possible. Unfortunately, that means my fleeting dreams of victory are quickly terminated. I'm able to win 2 of my next 3 games, guaranteeing a 3rd place finish. But as the clock approaches 0, all eyes turn to the only match that's still going on. My father against the only man who still has any kind of chance to catch him, GM Grimm. GM Grimm is not actually a GM, but sometimes he plays like one. Just last week, he scored an absolutely dominant 7-win, 1 draw, 0 loss performance to win the previous tournament that this chess league held. Can he pull a rabbit out of a hat and make up the 5-point deficit between himself and my dad? Well, he's got a winning position, and my dad is running out of time. Let's see what happens. And the arena ended before the game could finish. If my dad holds out for 1 second, he'll get it, and he does! Oh! That concluded the first day of the tournament. The next day, I would have to beat someone in a best of 3 to make it to the finals. I was pretty sure based on how the seedings matched up that I would be playing this person named Koke, who was a couple hundred points lower rated than me. So I did some light preparation the night before the match, by spending some time looking over what openings my opponent was likely to play and how I could best counter them. When I woke up the next morning, I saw that my assumptions were correct. An hour later, my match had begun. My prep paid off as I took an early 2-pawn advantage. Soon after, he resigned? I was confused. Sure, I had an advantage, but it was still anyone's game. A quick look at Discord put an end to my confusion. We were playing the wrong time control. Not the end of the world, but it meant my advantage would be lost, as we'd have to restart the match. Except, he played the exact same responses to my moves, giving me the exact same 2 and eventually 3-pawn advantage. Why would you willingly play moves that he knew for a fact were just not good? Well, For an unknown reason, someone in the chat had told him that the position we reached in the incorrect time control game was slightly winning for him. That information was very incorrect. My opponent must have thought that the almighty Stockfish had shown him the path to unarguable advantage, but in reality, it was only leading him to his death. Or this is way over dramatized and he was just showing good sportsmanship by playing the same moves to not void the incorrect time control game. You choose what you want to believe. The second game we played went about the same. I won some pawns in the opening and middle game and slowly converted my advantage to a victory. I was locked into the finals, and soon a few others joined me. In the first match, my opponent took a 1-pawn advantage in the middle game, but was unable to get much more. When our clocks got low, it was I who was able to squeak out a nail-biter time scramble victory. The same thing happened in Game 2, except this time, it was my clock hitting zeros. Game 3 had a grim outlook from the beginning, and a loss eventually followed. The fourth game, against my father, was no better. I played mildly insane in my next match, hoping to stay in the hunt for first place, and was able to score an attacking victory against someone much better than me. But Game 6 was a slow death against GM Grim, and it was quickly becoming apparent that although I may win battles, the war for first was practically lost. By the time the clock displayed 15 minutes remaining, GM Grim was 10 points ahead of my father, who was in second place. I would go on to lose all of my remaining games, and although my dad was in striking distance for most of the event, GM Grim pulled away towards the end and almost doubled second place's score. With a perfect record of 10 wins and 0 losses, GM Grim won the Executives Cup with the greatest performance in NSPCL history.
What you are about to witness is a photograph of GM Grim taken on June 10th, which was later obtained from Chess.com headquarters.
And there's the proof. It would have been suspicious if a 1600 rated player had won a tournament against other players hundreds of points higher than him, but it would still be feasible. Also, with a flawless 10-0 record in the finals, that's almost unbelievable. Combine that with the fact that GM Grim had won the previous tournament in this chess league with a 7.5 out of 8 score, and also won Chess.com's most recent Prized Friday event, now we're bordering on impossible. But there was one piece of evidence much more incriminating than the rest. After a 7-game winless streak on June 9th, GM Grim's overall record, not counting chess variants or free matches where he abandoned the game just a few moves in, was 60 free wins, 2 draws, and just 1 loss. Just a couple of hours after the Executives Cup concluded, its winner was banned from Chess.com. Not that much later, the NSPCL's staff team came to the same conclusion. GM Grim even demoted himself to I Am Grim on Discord. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty funny. I give him a thumbs up for that. Also, before I conclude this video, I want to say that if you ever see GM or I Am Grim, don't yell at him or anything. Cheating in a chess tournament is not the end of the universe. People do unswag things sometimes. But anyways, my dad was dubbed the new winner of the Executives Cup, and once he heard the news, he popped the champagne and partied all night. No, he didn't. That's a complete lie. At best, there was some mild satisfaction. That concludes the story of the Executives Cup. The NSPCL, which is the league that hosted this event, will be linked in the description. I've never done a storytelling-ish type video before like this, so hopefully it wasn't terrible. I plan to make more videos about future tournaments in a similar fashion, but that's gonna be it for this one. Thanks for watching, see you next time, and bye-bye.